Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, it is another solder sesh. Happy New Year. It's the first one of 2022, and that's super exciting. And hopefully we still remember how to do this. Another solder sesh. Happy New Year. It's the first one of 2022, and that's super exciting. This is weird. We still remember how to do this. We might not remember how to do this. Interesting. Okay, hang on. We have new speakers which are causing some audio things. Maybe just put it. Okay, cool. I thought that I freaking muted it, but that was really weird. Okay, we're back. No worries. We don't remember how to live stream. We slept a few times. It's a new year, you know. That's okay. Hello, Bob. How's it going? Happy New Year to you too. We're masking up because of Omicron, so you get to see space butterflies today. All right. So yeah, we thought we'd like start off the new year by going through everything that we did last year. And I have to say, I've been kind of tired. We had a very, very busy December and November, I would say too. And so like kind of, Christmas, New Year's came around and mostly I was just kind of like, So I feel like I'm like kind of getting back into it, getting my mojo again. But I have to say that like looking at this amazing table, we had to bring in an extra table here for, in order to lay out all of the things that we had done last year. And like seeing that has like made me feel pretty good. Like, yeah, we did some stuff. I'm not going to try to do it in order because that would be crazy. But I think, so what I think I'll do is sort of do it thematically. All right. So yeah, let's get the other table in. We will start first. You can make me little. That's fine. Yeah, make the table big so that we can do it. We will start off with blinky things. So these are some of the blinky things that we made, and this is also mostly, yeah, I think actually all of the Alpenglow stuff is in here. So, and then we also have Jason's cool Fibonacci kit. So let's see, we have our PS I Hate You board. I don't know, we might actually try less light for right now just to make the LEDs show up a little better. Yeah, okay. So we have all sorts of stuff. We're gonna make them all go at once and then talk about them because it's more fun that way. Okay, yay. So let's see. Oh, this Krampus battery might be a little sad. I think it was on my tree for a while, but whatever, that's okay. So what do we got going on here? So these three are Alpenglow things. This one's not quite out yet. More on that in a bit. So this was a kit that we made early last year, just in time for Valentine's Day, a little fun surface mount soldering kit. And it's called PS I Hate You. And it's called that because it is intended to just drive people that like tidy board layouts a little bit crazy. And it has like a few little sort of persnickety things on it, intentionally so, just to make you work for it a little bit. And it has two 555 timers on the back that create this heartbeat blinking pattern. So one of the 555 timers just creates a chain of pulses like bloop, 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 bloop. And then the other 555 timer creates a repeating pulse with like kind of a longer period. Oh, cool. Hey, Tom. Nice. Lanaya's soldering a kit with 50 LEDs. That is awesome. 100 pins to do, and she's doing great. That is so cool. How old is Lanaya again? She's like 8 or 9, I think. Cool. Okay, but so the other 555 timer, right, makes this pulse that has a longer longer like dead period in between the pulses. And so what happens is the 555 timer that's going bloop, 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 bloop is actually kind of gated by the one that's doing the longer pulses. So the long pulse is timed to just basically capture 2 of those really short pulses. So essentially the long pulse 555 timer enables the short pulse 555 timer, but only for about the space of 2 heartbeats. So that's how you can get the like bloom, 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 bloom. Hey, Jason. Yeah, super good timing. So yeah, the first things I'm showing off are like blinky-ish things. And so they're the things that I've done and the thing that you did. And yeah, super, super duper fun. Wow, Lanaya is 7, but she'll be 8 in 1 month. So 8 years old, and she's soldering a kit with 50 LEDs. It's freaking awesome. Yeah. We should give her a Krampus challenge. That might be a little challenging. I don't know. But she did the P.S. I Hate You with a little bit of help. So I think that she might be up for the Krampus challenge. Yeah. And so RBG board is coming soon. That's our little @tiny development board. And RBG has 2 modes. That's the rainbow mode. And this is just like the red pulsing angry ghost mode. And this is basically designed to be a little development board for @tiny 4, 5, 9, or 10 processors. And we're going to be doing this soon. We're actually going to pitch this to Crowd Supply, and I'm kind of excited about that. I haven't done a Crowd Supply project before, so we'll see. You know, they reject a lot of projects, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot for this. We have like full-on prototypes that are working. Things have been designed. Parts have been like sourced. We could at least, I think, make about 100 of them from parts that we have on hand. So that's all good. And yeah, we'll keep you posted with that as that progresses for sure. So, and then we have Krampus, which you've probably seen because that's the newest thing that we've been like talking about and tweeting about and showing a whole bunch. And we're pretty proud of this. Caitlin, our graphic designer, did an amazing job with the artwork on it. And then yeah, we did these LEDs on the back. Sorry, mine are a little, my battery is a little bit sad right now because it was on my tree for a few days. So this one is it also has 2 modes. It has like the flicker mode here, and it is also controlled by an @tiny 4. And then yeah, so it's flicker mode, and then it has like slow glow mode, like Krampus is gonna get ya. And then this, yay, I'm glad you like your Krampus, Jason. And then this is one of Jason's Fibonacci boards. And this one was cool because most of his boards are already pre-assembled. They are you know, pretty high density, I would say, with a lot of LEDs on them. They all use the small addressable LEDs. So each LED has what, 1, 2, like six pads. Yeah. So it would be really hard to solder all of those yourself. And so what they did, which I can show you a little bit here underneath this plate. So with Cyber City Circuits, they actually made this into a solder it yourself kit by giving you like a tiny panel of all of the LEDs that were already soldered on. So all of the surface mount work was done for you. And then you broke them out and you soldered like 2 header pins on each one. And you got to like do all of the soldering yourself. So that was super cool. I guess there are 4 pins on the, well, no, 4 pins on the pattern at least. So, and then they're all controlled by an Arduino Nano, which is in here. And I think that was like most of the soldering, some buttons for modes. So you can like change the cycle through like different patterns and different brightnesses. Ooh, that's a good one. That's like a pinwheely one. Yeah. Yeah, we can turn the light back on so we can see the boards a little bit better. Cool. Okay. Oh, just 4 pads. 5 volts data in, 5 volts ground, data in, data out. Cool. So yeah. I guess I'm so used to the strips. I was thinking like 3 in and 3 out. but yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, so these are kind of like fun things that punch that like button, that like light up and make colors and stuff like that we put together. So next we'll go on to the more kind of tool type of things. Oh, I think that's right, I forgot. The PSA I Hate You also has like just a solid mode as well. So either or. But yes, okay. So turning everything off here. Choop, choop, choop. Okay. So next one we have our tools. Ciao. And so we soldered together this super cool giant 741 op amp kit while chatting with Lenore from Evil Mad Scientist. And that was a super fun live stream. Like, Lenore is amazing. She's just like a wealth of information on all sorts of cool topics. So yeah, that live stream was super awesome and you should totally check it out. So this is an op amp. You make it by soldering all of the components that are actually like inside this op amp IC, and it's like laid out kind of like the IC. So you have like the different sections that do different things. So it's also like a pretty cool learning experience. I wish I had something like this when I was in school, because it would have made op amps a lot more relevant and interesting to me, I think. Yeah, the Fibonacci 32 project was way fun, way fun. Agreed. So yeah, this is the op amp, and you can actually, you know, use it as an op amp. The legs are really just for show. They're like one metal piece, but each of these are screw terminals that you can actually hook this up and use it, and that's kind of cool. And then we soldered this. It's just kind of like a generic kit. I got it off of Amazon, but it's a little oscilloscope, and you know, it's pretty darn good. It's like, it's great for when you just want to take a very quick look at something on the bench. It's powered by a 9-volt battery. I think this one took us like 2 solder sessions to do because there were quite a few components on it. There are even more under this LCD, if you can see them there. But it's pretty good. Which way is our, I know, I'm like, yeah. Which way is our polarizing filter going? That way. So yeah, and it has like this nice OLED screen, and you change changing like the volts per division, like the scaling is a little funky. You have like these 2 switches here that control that. But you then cycle through with the button for the rest of the settings so that you can change like the trigger level and the time scale and, you know, a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, so that was pretty cool, and I would say useful. I'm stoked on it. I wish it had a switch on it though. That is my only complaint, is that, you know, I have to unplug the battery every time. But it's a pretty minor gripe, I would say. Cool. So then, what should we do next? Let's do neon tubes next. We have 2 awesome neon tube projects. I don't know if Brent is in the audience. If you are, hello. So this is a kit that Brent made. It's not for sale, but I think it would be fun to collaborate and do something with it, because you can actually still get these neon guys. Hopefully I haven't, no. Like, I accidentally fried it once by using the Nixie tube power supply for it. The Nixie clock is powered off of a 12-volt supply. Mystifier is powered off of a 5-volt supply. But that's why it's safely plugged into USB, and it's with our USB to power only cable. Our Nixie clock power supply is now very clearly labeled. So hopefully we won't make that mistake again. But yeah, these are cool. It's always fun, I think, to do projects with neon, because it just, like, it has that cool glow to it. And you get to you know, have like high voltages on your board and try not to electrocute yourself and stuff like that. So, yeah, speaking of,
danger aspect
right,
makes it really exciting.
Exactly. It's spicy. Spicy. That's, oh, cool. Yay, Brenda's here. Awesome. Happy New Year. Cool. So, all right. We have switches on both of these so that we don't have to, although I think I will have to live dangerously with the Nixie tube one. That's okay. I'll grab it from this side, which is the low voltage logic side. So that one is this guy. We haven't had it on for a while, but has it? Hey, it has remembered its shit. 2201. Oh, it's a day ahead, maybe. It is 69.9 degrees in here. Excellent. Excellent. I feel like it's an hour ahead too. Oh, that
daylight
yeah, might make sense with daylight savings. So yeah. All right. So not too bad. It's interesting that it got to be a day off somewhere in there. I wonder, I mean, it wasn't like a leap year or anything. Interesting. But this was a fun kit. Getting the tube soldered in was a total pain in the butt. I won't lie about that, because you know they're used because they're not really made anymore. So it's all used stock, and so they're not like perfectly aligned. And then you have to like line up, I think, 12 pins into a circular pattern, and they use sockets, which is good because then you can replace the tubes without soldering. But oh man, it is hard to get the pins in the sockets and everything like straight and lined up in the PCB and stuff. So that took us a little while to complete. But hey, we've completed it and it works now. Yay! I'm going to turn this off so that I don't accidentally zap myself. Okay. And then we have the Mystifier. Mystifier, turn that guy on. It is mystifying. So it goes through this like this little random pattern and lights up the tubes in sort of this random flicker sequence. And it's just kind of fun and nice. I don't know. I like things with neon. So it just spoke to me. What can I say? And yeah, I just think that this is like a fun little, it's just like a fun little blinky thing to have on your desk for sure. We're in the middle of Nito Neon, yeah. We're like in the middle of trying to make a display for all of this stuff. We don't have a power outlet by where we want to display all of this, so that makes it a little bit challenging. I think we'll have to like figure out like a USB brick solution and then some sort of like 5 volt to 12 volt converter dealio for the Nixie tube one. But pretty much everything else runs off of USB, so that should be not too bad. But yeah, we're working on like a little air display area for all of our like cool little toys and gizmos. Yeah. All right. So that's our neon. That's our. Oof. Yeah. Those are our two cool neon projects. I don't even like know what another good neon project would be. I mean, I guess more Nixie stuff for sure. There's always more Nixie stuff to make, it seems. But yeah. So, all right, that's that. That's a good segue. Boom. Look at that. Bam. So we sewed some last year too. And this was the Watch Me Sparkle kit. And Techno Chick makes these. And it's pretty cool because, here, we'll turn out the lights again. Ooh, I'm stuck in the chair. Thank you. So yeah, these are, you know, it's fun to add LEDs to things, to mix different crafts, to put stuff together. So we did this live stream on making this bag, and you have the battery holder on the inside. Everything is sewable. You have this nice pocket, which, let's see if I can get this in the camera view. So this nice pocket on the inside protects your circuitry. And it's all using conductive thread. So the conductive thread basically provides its own resistance. So you don't really need a resistor in line with those LEDs. Those LEDs are happier on 5 volts. So there are 2 CR2032 batteries in it, 3 volts each, making 6 volts. Close enough. Yeah. And so, yeah, this was a pretty cool project. I really liked it. I thought it was a great introduction to electronics for somebody who is more, textile associated, basically, who might have a lot of textile experience, but not have a lot of electronics experience. So also in wearables, sort of. So I have, this is the only unfinished one. It is the only unfinished one, and it still has pins poking out all over the place, but we did buy some felt, actually. And I think that, pinning it all unfelt and then sewing the felt in, I think that will be a good way of doing it, just so that you have the option to maybe not electrify your bra. Actually, I'll plug this in first. Oh, look, we have a 5-volt charger there. Look at that. Always wondering where those are. So, yes. I mean, I should have had this done for New Year's and then found myself some like sweet party to go to, but I just was tired, honestly. So, but yeah, but it's fun. And, these LEDs on the strands, this is using Geek Mom Project's Deborah's swirl technique. So she made blobs out of the swirl technique and like zip tied them all together. So it's the same sort of thing. We just swirled them. I think we started here and then sort of zigzagged up and across and over and then up and across and over again. And it is mesmerizing. But yeah, we were joking. We were joking in a meeting. So she actually made this amazing shirt. She just like put it together overnight because she's Deborah and she's amazing. And she put this shirt together overnight where she did this swirl technique and she made out of the swirls like an LED matrix across a shirt. And I don't know, there were probably like 5 LEDs down and I don't know, maybe like 10 across or something. And and like, yeah, I think somebody like said during the meeting, like, oh man, it would be so funny if you like had something on the shirt that was like, my eyes are up here. Anyway, we thought that was excellent. But yes, I think that the same thing applies to the bra, which is kind of funny. But all right. I don't even know. I think it was Halloween. Yeah, it was Halloween that sort of like inspired the costumey idea. All right. And then there were the blobs, which Deborah was on. Oh, Lanai wants to know where she can get the unicorn tote bag. I believe Adafruit might still have some. Check on Adafruit. You might check technochic.net, technochic.net. She might sell them directly from her website as well. So yeah, check those 2 places. Maybe SparkFun. I don't know. SparkFun carries them. So yes, this was a blob, which is super cute. And so this whole project was created when I actually got to visit Deborah and meet her in person, and that was fantastic. And so I saw her blob that was on her counter, and it was just amazing. It was this like very like sort of squishy, oddly expressive thing with these googly eyes. And hers was like blobbier. It was more roundy, ovally. But like I started, and she's like, want to make one? And I was like, yeah. And so, she had this whole swirly zip tie thing going on. And I was like, well, I wonder if you could make this, without any zip ties by like twisting it together at certain points or whatever. And I started out doing that. And then I was like, wait a minute, I could just kind of like knit this together. And so that's what I did. And essentially And then we did it on a live stream. So the one that I made at her house was like a 200 LED strand. So it's like actually bigger than this one is. This one is a 100 LED strand. And I made it, I made it smaller, like a smaller circumference. I only did 6 stitches instead of 8. And I will tell you now that that was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake, but it made it harder to do. Like working with something with a smaller diameter, it was just a little more finicky and harder to kind of like keep all of your stitches pushed through each other. If I were to do this again, I would totally make it 8 stitches around and it would just be a little bit shorter. But I think that that would be cool because it would be like a little blobbier. This one's like a little more glowwormy. Wearable LED stand bra. Yeah. Oh, Techno-Chic is probably Techno-Chic. It might be. I actually don't know because I have not heard it pronounced out loud. That is a good point. I forget that CHIC can also be chic. Yeah. So, and yes, the big googly eyes, like totally make the blobs. So yeah, and they're fun. And again, it's like the same LED strand that comes with all of these different pre-programmed designs, which are pretty great just by themselves. But you can also like cut them and add them to a controller and hack them. There's a little bit of a, they're a little bit different than the normal addressable LEDs because they actually know their position in the strand. So they don't just like chop the message every time. They actually like each of them basically see the whole message because they're basically like in parallel instead of series. So all of them see the whole message and just grab the one that is in the right position for them. So it is kind of cool because like if you cut the strand, then like it still sort of retains that position. So you could do things with like putting them in different places, or if you had some sort of pattern that you wanted to make where you wanted it to like stop here and then restart over there, you could actually do that with these. So that's kind of neat. But I guess I haven't tried it myself yet to like hook these up to an Arduino and check them out, but there are like different compatibilities with different library issues. So yeah, if you check out Geek Mom Project's blog, her blog, I think she gets into some of that. Tom has the pronunciation. Excellent. Chic, Techno-Chic. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate that. So yeah, blobs. Cool. So that is most of the sort of like textile-y crossover stuff. I think the last category is things that make noises. So things that make noises are always fun. And we got a few of those things. I might actually try to turn some of these on and make some noises too. So I think the worst thing that we put together was this Bluetooth speaker kit. It was just kind of a pain in the ass. The things, well, also I didn't read the full instructions too. There was that. But there was a lot of like soldering wires to things, and some of it was sort of like in a janky manner. There weren't always holes to put them through. So sometimes you were soldering wires on top of like connector pins and stuff, which was kind of weird. There wasn't like these boards, so that the board that like is part of the actual controller, that was pre-assembled. So you didn't have to do any soldering on that. The other board that basically has like, I think speaker amps on it and all of the LEDs, that was what you soldered. So it wasn't, it wasn't too bad, but then the case was like also a little bit finicky to put together. It does have a really interesting way of retaining these fasteners, I have to say. So these are all clear acrylic, like laser cut, I'm assuming, parts. So they're all just, completely flat pieces. And so you're like, well, how did they like screw these completely flat pieces together without like drilling holes and tapping or something, right? Well, they did this mechanism where they have, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Zoom. Ooh, that was maybe too much. Or not, actually. That's good. So yeah, you can see that there's a notch, like this sort of plus-shaped notch that is in this plastic, in the top plastic. And the hole in the bottom, in this piece that the screw is in, is very, very, very close to the top. And so you put the screw in, and actually you kind of pre-thread the nut on it, and you sort of like stick it in the notch. And as you turn the screw, the nut gets captured by the notch, and like it tightens up. And I mean, it's kind of cool. Like I'll say, like, that's an interesting way of like sticking fasteners together and, you know, making everything captive. It was really hard to get like the first couple started because they were just sort of flopping all over the place and didn't want to stay put and stuff. And and also, as you can imagine, whoop, hello. Yeah, the sound quality of this is, sorry, it's hard because there's a delay in the thing, so I'm like fighting the delay a little bit. No, that's good enough. So so yeah, the sound quality isn't great. I don't know, I might try to stream something from my phone in a bit, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but you know, it was like what, a $20 Bluetooth speaker kit, and I basically hung out with my friend Bibiana on that live stream, and she's an engineer and she's in Seattle, and she's done all sorts of like biomedical stuff since we graduated from college. And so it was really fun to hang out and chat with her, and like we were totally both bitching about this thing the whole time. Oh, interesting. The captive nuts were used on some of the early 3D printer kits. Yeah, I could totally see that. So this is the Oscilloscope APC, Atari Punk Console, and it basically just makes annoying noises. I don't know if anybody like really plays these, like actually creates melodic things from them, but they are kind of fun. Oh, I almost had something going there. So yes, 8-bit noises. I don't know, the right knob I like over there. All right, that's enough of you. You're welcome for the symphony. And then there was the Cyber City Circuits Theremin kit. What am I missing on this? Where's the...
Is it that little?
Oh, right, USB. That's right. Okay, so could you grab a USB cable that's a mini?
Yes.
Not micro. Cool. I think I just put one up there. Yeah. Right. So this one is USB powered and this one is 9-volt battery powered. You can do this one in the meantime. This is the Dreamweaver Junior, and it's like a little sequencer. So you can tune the note. And then you can like change the duration of each note and then like speed up or slow down the tempo. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to play with. And this was a pretty easy one to solder up, I would say. It was not, it didn't take too long at all. So, yeah. What's that one? So that one was kind of cool. Sequencers and like baby synth things are always kind of fun. And then we have this guy, which is the I forget what they just called it, like the Arduino Nano Theremin, I think. So it basically uses this ultrasonic distance sensor in place of the wire that you would in a normal theremin. There's like a wire that you kind of hold your hand near and play with one hand, and it changes the note depending upon where your hand is on the wire. So this one just uses distance to and from. But it's kind of cool because you can like flutter your fingers and you can get this like, you know, these fast little changes. And then you can like, you know, just change the positioning of your hand to kind of like change where they are. And then you can just like play with different like things, like what happens if I do this with two hands? And what happens if I do that, you know? And it feels like it's magic too, because like you just like twiddle your fingers over it and you're like, come alive, and it changes. So it's kind of fun, I would say. It was very delightful when we first turned it on. I think this would be a really good one for Linnea, Tom. Or Linnea, sorry. Mispronouncing everything tonight. Was that it? I think. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I missed a wearable because it's so small and tiny. So back into the wearables, we built this ring with Charlene. And this was kind of cool. And I was like, wow, I totally am sucking at jewelry making right now. Definitely I would take more time to sort of like get the shaping around my finger right next time. And, you know, if you're not live streaming, you can totally do that. But, you know, we needed to get it done. So basically it's just a little LED sequence, and you can get these from Adafruit. And you put some brass wire through them, twist them, and then fashion it into a clip for the battery. And it's just a matter of aesthetics that the ground side of the battery is facing up, because it sort of has this fun little texture on it. But it's kind of cool, and you can wear it as a ring. Oh, let's see. I thought I had it on this finger. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. That finger has big knuckle issues. There we go. But yeah, it's just kind of a fun little wearable. And if you think that this is neat, you should definitely check out Charlene's work, because her work is a lot better than mine. And she has a whole bunch of different rings, and some of them have really cool shapes and like brass sheets that are twisted around and multiple LEDs and stuff like that. So, you know, definitely check out her work. She's Chardane on Twitter, Chardane. And she's also lovely. I got to meet her in person when I was up in the Bay Area not too long ago, before Omicron was like this big, awful thing. So yeah, that was good too. What else do we got going on? I think now, did I get everything? I think I got everything. And we had awesome guests. So yeah, I mean, we did a lot of cool stuff. We had, so Brent was on with the Mystifier. Thank you, Brent. And Jason was sort of he was a guest with the Fibonacci, board when we soldered that all up. That was awesome. We had Tommy from Oscilloscope here for soldering up the APC. And, let's see, we helped Lee troubleshoot their Nixie voltmeter. That was cool, troubleshooting electronics live and remotely. That's always kind of fun. David, who's iShotJR on Twitter, he like gave us a little pocket operator sesh, which was cool. Showed us how they work and how to make bleeps and bloops with those. I mentioned Lenore from Evil Mad Scientist being on. She was awesome. Yes, this is my cheat sheet. Ha ha ha. And my friend Bibiana, we made the Bluetooth speaker. That was super good. Deborah with the blobs. I don't have anything because we didn't like make anything from that session, but my friend Mark Smith was on, and we had like this really cool chat about all of his ham radio stuff, as well as all sorts of cool badge stuff from early DEF CONs and like badge challenges and stuff like that. That was really, really a great chat. And Charlene with LED rings that I mentioned. And then we had a few more guests. Lee took over hosting for a couple of times in December while we were like busy at doing farmers market stuff here. And they had Hillary Predko on one time, and that one is actually on Instagram Reels. We had some technical difficulties with with stream permissions that time. We thought we had it all set up and didn't. So that one went to Instagram. It's not on YouTube. But then there is, and yeah, and sadly, Instagram will not let us download the full video after the fact. So I wanted to download it and re-upload it to YouTube, but I can't do that. So that's a bummer. But anyway, so yeah, Hillary's is on YouTube. And then Lee had Alex on number 26, and they soldered up some of our Blinky badges and just chatted about like academia life and stuff like that. And that was really also pretty cool. Always interesting to hear about like people's experiences and work and their path in life and into and through tech, I think. So yeah, check them out. So the nice thing about the Cyber City Theremin is that, yeah, it has an audio jack that bypasses the speaker. Yeah, it does. I haven't actually tried out the audio jack. Oh wait, no, we did. Right, we put it into headphones and it was very, very loud. So don't put it into headphones, like put it into a computer or something. We're like, oh God. Yeah, the DEF CON badge challenges were really, really cool. I don't know, we're both kind of busy, but like I'm hoping that maybe Mark and I can find some time to maybe, you know, drum up some sort of like fun Alpenglow badge challenge. I think that the interesting thing about the DEF CON ones was that like they were definitely like in-person focused. Like there were places you had to go and like Wi-Fi networks that you had to connect to and stuff like that in order to like break into stuff. So obviously like we couldn't do that like fully remotely, but I think that we can do enough stuff with like web page stuff and hacking that might be doable to do something fun. And I kind of like the idea of it being persistent too, because, you know, I mean, I didn't know about these until the DEF CON challenges until recently. So I think it would be nice for, you know, people over the years to be able to take part in them and, you know, discover them anew and do them. Kind of like, you know, playing like an adventure game or something on your iPad, which is my favorite kind of game. So yeah. So yeah, huge thank you to all of our awesome guests who came on and chatted and built stuff. We had like a really good time and looking forward to more of it this year. The next few solder sessions will probably just be me like putting together stuff. We have so many things. Oh my God, backlog of things. We have the Oscilloscope Scout that we still need to put together. So I think we might do that pretty soon. We've 3D printed all of the parts. They've been sitting around for a few months and we just need to like solder the board together. Ooh, I'm also proposing, it's like not finalized yet by any means, but proposing a surface mount soldering workshop to make. So if you're interested in like doing a remote class in surface mount soldering, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I'm very much looking forward to that, doing that with the microscope here. So you'll get full microscope view, and I'm gonna set it up so that it's like a little bit more magnified than usual. So you'll get like a really good view of the solder joints and stuff. Yeah. So Bob is saying perhaps the Alpenglow badge challenges could mix like in-person and cyber world stuff like in the future and things like that. And yeah, I definitely think that would be super cool. And like, I don't know, maybe I might try to make up something for DEF CON. I should put that on the calendar. So we'll see. We're trying to get better about scheduling and planning this year. Last year, it seemed like dates came up and it was like, oh, we should really do something for that thing that's like a month off. And it's pretty hard scramble to try to get a hardware product done in a month. I mean, we made it barely for the Krampus, but I don't want to make a habit of that. So yeah, but yeah, we got more ideas than time, that's for sure. Ideas are not our problem. It's funny. I always think it's so funny when people are just like, oh, I just, don't have any ideas. I'm like, oh my God, I have so many ideas. Yeah, but we could actually solder up a little something on this solder sesh, since we haven't done anything yet. Oh, what was the outcome of the Nixie multimeter repair? I don't know if so we figured out where the problem was, but I don't know if Lee has gotten around to fixing it yet. It was some of the cables that were going between the boards. So, and it looked like, I think that there was like a little bit more troubleshooting to do on it, but like we had like a really good starting point. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask them. I'll have to ask them. Sometimes it's projects get put on the back burner and then they get taken out again, and that's cool. I always have way too many projects going on at any one point in time. And we won't even talk about the knitting projects that have been like put aside for a year and then picked up again and then put aside for another year and then picked up again. I got a ton of them as well. Well, we have some of those even in the shop. We have the traffic light project we still want to make remote. And we have the stuff to do that. We have a bunch of what is it? The Wemos D something boards. I can't remember. It's like D1 or D3. But anyway, they're like the really cheap boards that basically, their entire board would do the traffic light project, but it also happens to be the cheapest way to just add Wi-Fi to a project. So we'll probably just like talk to it through the UART and do Wi-Fi on the traffic controllers that way, and just have one on the traffic lights that way, and have one on the controller and side and one on the light side. Yeah, remote learning for SMD soldering. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I mean, it is going to be like a paid class, and it'll be size limited, and you'll be able to solder along if you want to, or if you want to just watch, that's fine. So it's like a little bit different from our live stream format, which is just me blabbing here and all free and stuff. It'll be likely like via Zoom, so like you'll also have a camera and be able to interact that way as well. So yeah. Oh, hey, my mom is watching. Hey, Mom, how's it going? I have vintage UFOs. I do. I have that. UFOs in the knitting world stand for unfinished objects. I should totally bust out that term, though, for like electronics, because it freaking totally applies. Like, how many UFOs do you have? We have some UFOs around here. So yeah, traffic light controller we want to do. We want to finish up this like foot switch project that we have going on for making one that's compatible with Canon cameras that go into the remote. Yes, I think that there are things that you can buy that do this, but anything that is like actual camera equipment that is for sale tends to be pretty expensive. And we have a bunch of foot switches around here, and we actually got the idea, we got started by looking at oh my gosh, my mind is totally blanking. Why is my mind blanking on her name? Becky Stern. Thank you. There we go. So she has a tutorial for how to put together like a foot switch that plugs into, I think it's a Panasonic camera. But we have a bunch of Canon cameras, and the way that their remote shutters work is like a little bit different. There's like a half press that you can do for focusing, and then like the full press for actually taking the pictures. It's the actual shutter mechanism. So whereas I think the Panasonic, you don't have that focusing option. It's just like a shutter. And we kind of figured out how to set it up to just be shutter. It was a little tricky, but we really wanted to keep that focusing option in, because like if you can do a half press and have it autofocus, like why wouldn't you take advantage of that, right? So we just need to like do a little bit of like a 3D printed switch design to hold 2 switches in our foot pedal, and we'll have like a little tab that sticks up on one so that it actuates first and does, the half press focusing. And then the second switch will actuate when it's depressed all of the way. And that will be the shutter thing. So Bob has squadrons of UFOs. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Well, speaking of squadrons, so good, Bob. Hang on. Boom! We got airplanes tonight. I know. This is kind of, I've had these for a little while. So I got them off of Tindy, and I don't know how to pronounce this seller's name either. I think it might be Fix, Phyx. And this person is in Belgium, and they make these cool kits that are airplanes. And so this one is a MiG, and this one is an SI-71. Yay! And I saw these and I thought that they were super cool, because I kind of love this little card form factor where, you have the boards, all panelized, but that the panel is sort of the product, and you can break them all out and then you actually solder them together. So it's like a little bit of a 3D, airplane. And it also has the specs of each aircraft in Dutch. So, I have no idea how to speak Dutch. So this, like, I don't even know how to pronounce anything, but I assume that like LENGTE is length, right? Like lengte or something. And hoogte is maybe height. I don't know. Spanwijka, wingspan. So anyway, it's fun learning new words, right? And yeah, they also have an F-16 kit as well. So they have 3 kits. I feel like they only had 2 when I bought them, though, because I'm like, why don't I have the F-16 when I looked it up today? And now they also have like a little stand too that you can buy that you can fit them all on, and you just plug in power via USB. I speak Dutch after lots of beer, right? Yes, Blackbird SR-71. I got to see an SR-71 close up in person in like 1999 or something at Edwards Air Force Base. It was like right before they like bricked the whole program. They were doing some sort of experimental engine on it called a linear aerospike engine. And I have forgotten everything that I knew about that. So, but it was super cool. I got to like go into the hangar where it was and check it out. And it had the pan under it where it just like, leaked freaking gas the entire time. So yeah, that was cool. I have not seen a MiG close up though. Not many of those in, US military hangars that you saw nothing. Exactly. I saw nothing. It was so cool though. It's like such a swoopy airplane. I also actually got to see a B-2 pretty close up. This was when I was working at AeroVironment way back when, and AeroVironment had an airplane called Helios that it was like test flying at Edwards, and that's where I got to see the SR-71. And Helios was like a big flying wing thing that was they were trying to do like fully solar powered flight, which was pretty cool. And solar powered high altitude flight to like 100,000 feet. And so they broke records for highest altitude a propeller driven plane had ever gone, which was like over 100,000 feet. So that all happened when I was there, which was pretty cool. And then the B-2 thing was because like the wife of one of the other engineers that I was working with at AeroVironment, she like worked at, I guess was it Grumman that made them, I think, Northrop, or was it Lockheed? I can't forget. I can't forget. I wish I couldn't forget. I can't remember at this point in time. But anyway, she like kind of got anyone who wanted to like a tour, and it was super cool. I got to like stand outside, like, I don't know, probably like 100 feet away from one or something. And those things were big. Like that that thing is like way bigger in person than I thought it would be, and very swoopy looking and cool. So anyway, I'm not like a super airplane person. I'm not one of those people that like looks up and knows what I'm looking at, but I really appreciate airplanes and think that they're super cool, and, you know, worked on small UAVs for a long time. So anyway, airplanes. Let's see about these kits. Was it Mrs. Wirtz? No. It wasn't Jan. It was Joel Grassmeyer's wife who worked up there, and I forget her first name. Yeah, Lockheed was SR-71, but who's the B-2? I think Grumman was the B-2. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen 2 cool stealth airplanes up close. That's my claim to fame. All right. So they also do come with instructions in English, which is helpful. Just kind of guidelines more like than like step-by-step instructions, but I think it's probably enough to, you know, get the job done here. Oh, Tom, I have a few extra of these kits. If, you know, I would be happy to gift them to Lanaya as a Christmas present if she's interested in putting together these airplane kits. There we go. So trying to be careful about breaking them out. So you just kind of, bend back and forth. Be gentle. It's all tabs with little mouse bites. So they come out relatively easy. And I feel like this is a little bit thinner than a, quote unquote normal, like 60 mil or whatever they are circuit board. Feels more like maybe a 1 millimeter.
Can a circuit board be 2 layers, but still thinner than just like the standard ones that we get?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah, we sort of default to the standard, like roughly 1/16 of an inch ones, because it tends to be cheaper. It tends to be what a lot of people have readily available in stock. It doesn't get any extra like material costs to it. And some of our stuff, like, we don't want it to flex or bend or anything like that. Some of our things we want to be like a little sturdier, like the switch trick that's like getting plugged into, a breadboard or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we totally could get thinner boards made if we wanted. And I don't even think these days, it's all that much more expensive, if any, really, depending upon the place that you go. Like for prototypes, Osh Park. Well, Osh Park, actually, they have a thinner circuit board with 2-ounce copper. So, but the copper thickness is bigger. I don't think it doesn't like make up the full, width nearly, but overall, I think it's like roughly half the thickness of the normal ones that we get from them. And 2-ounce copper, we usually get 1-ounce copper. So basically 2-ounce copper just means it's twice as thick. So it can actually conduct more current without like dropping voltage, lower resistance. So it also conducts heat better too. Yeah. All right. Got all the pieces out. Cool. So let's see. Okay, we have some instructions for the LEDs and some instructions for soldering the plane. Cool. Okay, so I think we want to solder the things first. So solder the battery holder first. Pay close attention to the plus and minus symbol. See, I'm being so good in reading the instructions right now. Pay close attention to the plus and minus symbol. Also note the bevel edge in one corner. Bevel edge goes to the bevel edge, which I like this nice big arrow too. I should remember that for our boards. So it's a surface mount pattern, but they're nice big pads, so I think this should be fine. I also have like, I put a bigger tip on the iron this time. I guess I could do this under the microscope, huh? That might give a better view. Yeah, let's switch it on over. Yeah. And we'll put got a little bit of a new light on the situation here. It's adjustable, so.
Nice.
Yeah. Of course, you adjust the light and then the camera does its own thing, and it's never quite as easy as you want it to be, but that's okay. That is all right. So cool. Let's see. I am actually going to use some flux on this and use some solder. Picked up some Amazon little tiny spools of solder here. Electronic stuff is getting pretty cheap on Amazon. So this is lead free, 2.2% flux, tin copper. So it doesn't have silver in it. So this might be like a little bit harder to flow. We'll see. But I'm sure that's why it's cheaper, right? No silver. I like how this is Area 3001. Hacking the 3001 area since 2013. I like it. Cool. So yeah, tell me about what you guys made this last year too. I would love to hear about like projects that you made that you're proud of, projects that you made that you're like, maybe that didn't work out so well. Whatever. Cool. So I got the one side in.
So that side of the board is textured.
It is okay. So it looks textured. It's a hatched power plane, probably ground, maybe, or I don't know. It could be either ground or positive voltage. But yeah, it was sort of like an old school way of doing planes, but I don't really know the history of that as to, why the hatching versus solid pores. It might, I don't know. I actually don't know. Like why it would be advantageous to actually remove copper from a plane. Mm-hmm. Usually you want planes to be very, very low impedance and very consistent. But it can make soldering to them easier because since there's not as much copper there, the heat, they don't like suck the heat away as much. Yep. All right, so we have our battery holder done. And our LEDs. Sure. Oh, hang on here. I gotta amuse myself. Okay, so we got our LEDs here, and let's see, what did they say about it? Plus and minus. Oh, it was also kind of cool that they did on they marked the anodes and cathodes and showed you the directionality of the LEDs on the panel. All right. Plus is the long one. Plus is going on this side. Now, how much should they stick out is my question. I think that they should be inside that little, I think that they should be inside the little notch. So I don't think that they should stick out very much. So I'll do that maybe. Sure, gotta have your jet engines. Ooh, is there a right and a wrong side to do this on? I'm guessing this side because it was actually marked. Yeah. Cool. All right. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Let's see. Oh, check that I don't have to solder the fins before the LEDs. They show it on the instructions. That's a good point without them there, but I think here, that is a very good point. So yeah, this guy, let's switch it over. So this guy goes like this. All right. And then, ooh, these might have to, let's see. Oh, it's interesting. So the instructions show it's like still in the actual frame. So that's why I didn't think to check that beforehand, but I think you are indeed correct. Because it has LED and then soldering the plane. Yeah, I think that those do have to be in place first. Achoo. Could you go to the Tindy page that shows the fully assembled? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep. Good catch, Bob. Thank you very much. So, okay, I'm like a little bit confused here. Because am I just not seeing because it's all shiny? Can I see the Tindy? Oh, I see. So I don't think that I think the LEDs sort of keep these in. I think even though there are these shiny patches, which look like you would solder to them, there are not. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's just hard to see once it's all in. So it's on, is it directional? It seems like it's on the bottom and not on the top, which is very confusing to me. Let's see. Like, unless I'm like somehow putting this upside down, but I don't think so. Not according to the picture. I mean, that's definitely the cockpit, so that's in, right? And then I just want to look at these guys. Boy, I am. Oh, maybe I have the plane part upside down. I think maybe that's it. Hang on. Oh, let me see. Actually, let me just look at these guys. Yes. Okay. Got it. So, so shiny side goes down on the plane because then it lines up with the shiny side, the shiny solder point on the fins. Okay. And okay, and it looks like the yeah, I got it. Okay. And they're like a little bit over drilled, so so like lining this up, we can go back to the thingamajigger here. So yeah. So you can see that the that this shiny part that's on the fin is only sort of sticking out the bottom. It doesn't stick out the top at all. So therefore, shiny pads on this guy go to the bottom. Ooh, look at these nice swoopy traces. Bonus points for swoopy traces for sure. And also you don't want to push it all the way up because then it doesn't line up. So basically to right about there is where we want it to be. And I think I will go ahead and solder these two fins first because that will be easier, and then put the big one in the middle, which is then soldered up here. And then last, we'll put the LEDs in. And that should be good. All right. So let's see about this. I guess I could, just thinking if I want to do this under the microscope or not. Do I have anything that's flat? Ooh. Oh boy, I don't know where that went. There was like a little magnetic thingamajigger, but
Oh, the holder one?
yeah, the holder. But
I know what that is.
Ooh,
If you want me to grab it.
yeah, that would be great. I think that will work pretty well for this one. I was just trying to, like, if I put it down like this, then my fin might not be very straight. It might kind of be at an angle. So, you know, trying to solder it just flat like this so that it's all straight. I could also put the other one in. That might actually be good enough. Oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, that actually might work pretty well. Let's see if we can. We got this like little solder holder that's kind of neat that I'm trying out. It's just like little magnetic pins here, and yeah, that holds shit pretty well. Yeah. Nice. Okay, now I gotta line these guys up. Oh shit. I'll line it all up again. So basically, I think it should be about there and about there. And yeah, I think that's about right. What do we got? Oh, SR71 fins are at an angle in real life, tops to the center. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if I can get it quite quite that good. I'll probably just be satisfied with however I can get it soldered here. But I do want to, maybe I can actually kind of tip them. Ooh, I think I can tip them slightly using these magnetic holders pushing against them. Okay, we're going to try it that way. Haha. All right. And actually, I'm going to flex these guys a bit. Yeah, my guess is that the hatching on this board is purely stylistic for the plane, for the ground plane. It does look cool, though. Well, it's to save weight, right? Because it's a plane. So you need your planes to be light or else they use too much fuel. All right. Cool. Let's do it. There we go. Nice. Using a bit of a beefier tip than usual, specifically for this board, because I knew it was going to be like soldering these pieces together. Awesome. Think I'm going to, they're like not super canted, but maybe slightly. Could see if I can like kind of seeing if I can like kind of pinch and hold them together. Yeah, thanks. And reflow. Come on. Am I still on? I am. Why am I not reflowing? I just need a little solder to get it started. There we go. Ooh, that's at a good angle now. Okay. Do the other one. It does heat up a little bit, I will say, under my fingers because it is that whole entire ground plane. Come on. Pachoo. So, like that. We're doing good. Sure, it definitely looks faster. That's the important part, right? I don't know if the LED is going to work that way though, too. So let's check that out. Plus, minus, plus, minus. I think it's good enough. I think that'll work. I'll solder the LED in and maybe then do the other side.
Oh, that's cool.
Also stealthier. Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of like interesting stealth stuff, that's for sure. Choo, choo. All right. Do this. Back to here. All right. And definitely bend the LED a little bit more after the fact too. Mm-hmm. Moving a little. That's all right. This one's going to be a little harder to get into because of the angle, but that's okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be great. Do I not have nipples? Thank you. Put the other LED in. Plus to plus. Bend that over. Cool, thank you. And put this in. Okay. I can focus this a little bit better too. Change in height. There we go. Awesome. All right. Mom wants to know, could I still do the soldering if I don't have a microscope? Yeah, like, so this soldering is not very different from the Happy Rain Cloud kit that you did. And, you know, we didn't have a microscope for that. I think, did we have any kind of magnification, Mom? I can't remember to put that together. But did you have like a ring light with a magnifier maybe? I feel like we converted one of her quilting tables to a soldering station for a day. Yeah, could do it under a microscope, but it's, frankly, it's easier for me to see under a microscope. I'm so used to, no, I can do it under here. I'm so used to soldering under a microscope that it's easy for me. And it's also, I feel like, a little bit nicer for the stream to do most of the soldering under the microscope, even if it's not needed, just because you can see it better, you know? Yeah. All right. Cool. So now I think I'm ready to solder the other sides of these fins now, hopefully. So we'll do that. Kind of scooch this guy in here, maybe. Not hold it enough. I don't know. Maybe do. Maybe let's put it over here. Yeah, there we go. This is kind of an interesting holder. I will say that I'm kind of liking it. I think I got it from Oscilloscope, actually, where I got this microscope. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was like only like maybe $10 or something. Whoop. I'm just gonna hold it there with my finger to stabilize it. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Now, hopefully, should be able to put together the cockpit here. Yeah, I think I'll have to do this without a microscope. I guess I could probably do the same thing. Oh, that's right. So this guy has a slot. That guy has a slot. And then yeah, I feel like I can just do this on the table here. I think, yeah, that guy's the nose, so it sticks out a little bit. And I can always just do one side and then kind of like adjust it. I know that's definitely angled, so we will hold on to this. And whoop. Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky to get straight, isn't it? A little bit. That's okay. Great thing about soldering is that it's relatively forgiving. You can just keep reflowing. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Sure. All right. Solder the other side. I wonder where that battery was supposed to go. I think it just goes in the bottom. Okay, hopefully. Okay, it says mounting the battery. Make sure to clip the battery under 2 small clips on the positive side. Yeah, we'll do that later. Oh, hey. Let's see, did I do that right? I think I did that right. So there were some instructions. Keep all sides. I tried to read the instructions. I really tried. Keep all sides with the plus marking on the same side. With the plane facing forward, all the plus symbols should be on the left side. Yep, those are all on the left. I don't know. They might be hidden now, maybe. I didn't see plus symbols on the fins. But I think that we soldered it together because like you really couldn't have soldered it the other way. So, okay. So now, haha. So yeah, this is the part, I guess. Ooh, that's true. Plus on the same side. Oh, we might have to redo that one. Let's see. Wait, hang on. Oh, no, plus is on the same side. Okay, cool. Yes, pluses are all on the left side. So this one is important because it's your battery connection, right? So, yeah, really the only 2 marked pieces are this one, your center mounting piece that's also like the cockpit and stuff, because I believe that like positive battery voltage is getting carried down one side and negative battery voltage is getting carried down the other side maybe. So, and then it's being fed to the LEDs, but since the LEDs are on this board, really it's just this board and your main airplane board that need to be aligned together. I don't think that there's any electrical connection going on in the 2 fins. So we got pluses and pluses. I'm reading it again. All pluses are on the left with it facing me. So with the nose, with the plane facing forward. Okay, so now we have a plus side marked here on the battery piece. And so we'll need to do that. Oh, interesting how like this is the stand. So clever. All right. This is going to be a little bit tricky. How do I want to do that? Yes. And so there is actually like sanity checks plus and plus. Yay. Yay, we are not insane. Go ahead and flex this. Cool. Yeah, give me some solder. 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 Give me some sol kind of eyeing it here. It's a little crooked. That's pretty straight. I'm guessing for the mount that they sell, where all three of them are on it and powered through a USB plug, I'm guessing that you would take this coin cell piece off and then, you know, reattach it to that mounting one. All right. Dun, 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 dun. We even have a coin cell handy. Is it a dead one? I don't know. All right. So yeah, this kind of coin cell holder is a little interesting too. It's going to be too tall for the microscope, so I'll use this camera. It's not, I don't really like this style because it's really easy to not pay attention and accidentally screw it up. Ask me how I know. So you might think, upon just looking at this, if you haven't used one of these styles before, that you just like you just push the battery in and it just like snaps in or something. And that's not exactly the case. If you do that, you'll kind of screw it up. You actually have to put the top of the battery underneath these two little prongs and then snap it in to this side. So, and this also, other of the planes have switches. This one does not. So I think it should just like power up once it goes on. Oh, it's working. So exciting. Look at that. Oh, I gotta like do the lights. Now it's super stealth because it's on like the black background, right? There we go.
That's awesome.
It takes very little to make me happy. But I think it's cool that they use like the little flickering LEDs too for like the little engines. Makes it good. Yeah, so there we go. How cute was that? Oh, we did not have any magnification when we did the Happy Rain Cloud kit together. Okay, yeah, a ring light is really good. You can get them at Harbor Freight. They're not doing their 20% off coupons anymore, or like only on special days. They don't kind of constantly have one that you're getting in the mail anymore, which is sad. But yeah, we got a couple of those around here they're very decent. Very, very decent. And they have like a little flap over the magnifier part to keep, you know, as a dust cover, which is kind of cool. So yeah, you just like put the flap up and has nice fluorescent light around it and it magnifies it. You don't need to be like terribly close to your work. The working distance is relatively good on those. Of course, you can just like clamp it to a table and like kind of put it anywhere you want, which is good. And yeah, those ring lights are good. What else? I'm not a huge fan. They're like super cheap, what are called helping hands, which are like these two little like alligator clips. They're soldering aids. They're like two little alligator clips, and they have a magnifying glass on them as well that you can sort of like position everything. But they're hard to position, and they don't give you a lot of working room. So even though those are like cheap and readily available, they're not tools that I really like using. Yeah, those magnifiers are good. I think the full price is maybe $45 or something, maybe 50. What else is good for magnification? Oh, you can also get, I think we had, did we have the head things? The little magnifying, the headband thing with the magnifiers that you put over your eyes. Those are also really good because you can use whatever ambient light. They even work if you have glasses. I think that those, I don't know if those are any cheaper actually than the ring lights, frankly. Yeah, okay, we did use those. Yeah, I was like, I swear we used some sort of magnification. Really, I mean, honestly, at this point in my life, with my eyeballs getting weirder every year, yeah, I definitely have that like over 40 thing where I'm starting to be like, So I just find that I need magnification and I need good light to do things, because otherwise, I mean, you might be able to see it, but you won't be able to tell if your solder joint was very good or not too. So like if you have magnification, you can be assured that your solder joints are nice and be confident in them.
Well, and I think it also saves you from the bad habit of leaning
of
forward.
the squint.
That's what I do. I just like
you just get real close.
I'm just gonna have my face 2 inches away from what I'm doing.
That works.
Not good on the neck.
Or sniffing the solder fumes from that close is probably also not great.
Just hold your breath. It's fine.
Exactly. Oh, well, that was cute and fun. I think I'm gonna leave it at that.
I was confused that you're calling it cute.
What? Why is it confusing? It is cute.
It's
super
machine.
Cute. It's like a tiny stealth airplane on my desk. Look at that. It's adorable. And it's also fucking badass. How's that? I mean, SR-71s are badass piece of stealth technology, but like this solder kit, I think is super cute. I amuse myself. Could I hold up the holder gizmo? Oh, yeah. I'll put it under this one. Here, let's make that one big. Yeah. And I'll zoom out a little bit so it's
turn the light on too.
Yeah. I'll try to dig up a link and put it in the description. Not necessarily today, but like by tomorrow. It is PCB magnetic fixture is what it's written on it. And it just has like these little magnets that have a shape that is handy for circuit boards. It's hard for me to describe it, but so they have a few different ridges in them that you could use for different things. So here we can zoom in on them now. Oop, other way. One of these days I'll get like a nice camera that I can do this sort of like remotely or something. But yeah, so there's this gap in the middle, which I think is the one that I use the most. But there's also like a smaller gap up here that's shallower that you might be able to like, use to, I don't know, make a board steady or something. And there's also this gap down here, which might fit like certain circuit board profiles. But these guys just magnet to the base. The base is just like a piece of steel with like these little feet on it. I don't know what these two holes are for. No idea. Maybe if you wanted to like, I don't know why you would want to put that to anything. But the thing that's kind of cool about it is that it like doesn't really matter what shape your circuit board is. You can just like arrange it where you want. Oh, this has a connector close to the side, so it doesn't want to get in too far on that one. But yeah, like I can kind of arrange it how I want. And I can, like, if I'm soldering in a particular place, then like if I'm soldering over here, I could like move this so that it's out of my way. And I really like that because I find with, with a lot of other holders with the vise styles of holders that have like the two ends, like, oh, here, look at this one. I am not a fan of this, I have to say. Like, this is probably one of the worst ones that I've ever bought. So, this is Panavice, and I don't know, I think that these are like maybe $45 or something like that, around there, maybe $45-$50. And it has these two things, and like it has this other guy, which you can use to sort of do your final holding on it. Let's see, get this right. There we go. That's in, that's out. So you kind of adjust these until, until they're, and it's hard to adjust too with one hand. So, and then you push that in, and then it's supposed to be like relatively snug, and like I guess it is, but these guys are so big that for a small board or something like this, they can kind of get in the way a lot. And I find that I can't reposition this board easily in this, and Like I could reposition it here, I guess, but I'm always like kind of turning a circuit board around and moving it to a different angle because I move the board so that it's easy for my hands to access at like, you know, roughly this kind of angle. So I just find that this is just like a little bit more finicky to position well, and it just doesn't always do a great job of holding it. Like it's doing okay there, but you know, these are like a little bit stiff, and I feel like when you get like some long skinny stuff in here, there we go, it sometimes just like doesn't do a good job of holding it. It's hard to get it. You got to kind of get the board in these pre-existing grooves. Yeah, and so I don't know if you can kind of see, but it's like it's kind of holding this board at an angle. Like it doesn't, you know, it only pivots at one place, so it doesn't really hold the board very well. I don't know. I should probably like put this up on Craigslist for $5 and make somebody's day, and then they can struggle with it. But yeah, like I much prefer. I liked those little. Yeah, what happened? Do you know where those little the screw top ones? Yeah, the Hako ones. Those were pretty good. Our stuff is completely like rearranged and stuff now because of all of the work we've been doing and like the farmers market stuff and all of that. So we're still kind of, you know, organizing. We have a big shop organizing day tomorrow, so that will be nice. Yeah, these guys I like using because it's a little bit hard to see, but like you unscrew the top and the top and the bottom just clamp. And at first I was kind of like, what, really? Like, this is weird, right? But I've used them a bunch on this for through-hole stuff, and they're reasonably good. They hold the board like pretty well because you can kind of crank this down, and they have like the little rubber on the inside, so it really like grabs it nicely. And you know, I can press down on this without it really moving. You know, it's a little bit like if you're going back and forth a lot, you know, it's a little bit like you got to unscrew, go in, rescrew. But I mean, I feel like once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fast. These are kind of expensive though. I think they're like $60 or something. I've waited for, I get them from iFixit because they carry them. And like I usually waited for them to like do their once a year coupon holiday thing and you know, grab one. I don't think it would be worth it. And you might not be able to. Like this is what you can't really tell is that this is like a heavy chunk of steel. You know, and they also have like this little funky key height thing that I've never needed to raise this, like, but you can like raise it up there and make it taller if you want. You can also like use like 2 or 3 if you had like a really big board that you needed to work on. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you had like a really big board, you could set like 2 in the back to 4 and like 2 in the front to 3 and maybe so make it a little angled or something. I don't know if that would work very well with this style though. So yeah, I don't know. This part is kind of weird, and I think it's a little bit extraneous. I usually always keep it like just fixed at the bottom. Yeah, like, I don't know, you'd have to work on something with like a lot of stuff hanging off of it or something.
Well, and the low height's nice for like it's where your hand is.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
like
not having to hold your hands up high.
Yep. So actually, that's another thing that I really like about this is that it's low, because here, like if I'm soldering up here, right, it's a little bit tougher to stabilize. Now I'm like putting my forearms against the desk, and yeah, cool. Thank you for doing the links to the kits. That's awesome. And yeah. And then, yeah, so it's just like a little bit harder to stabilize. I like having like my wrists and like the heel of my hand here on the table. So this guy, which is super low, you know, really allows you to do that. It allows you to stabilize better and have your hands here and do more of the work with your fingers. I don't know. I mean, some of it is totally personal preference too. Like, I'm not telling you that there's a right or a wrong way to do it, or like one product that's great for everybody or everything. You know, it is a little frustrating because you're like, well, I'm on a budget and I don't want to spend like $200 on 4 different holders and stuff. So, you know, I totally get that. And that's why I try, when I'm talking about these things, I try to kind of give you the full view and the pros and the cons and what I like to use them for, because then you can, you know, decide whether or not it's the right thing for you. Yeah. Cool. One does not usually use cute with the warplane. Too damn bad. I think it's adorable. Yeah, and we'll also, because the chat is, you know, it's not as persistent as the description. We'll also put links in the description. We'll, you know, have that done like tomorrow noonish or so, whatever, California time. Yeah. And I'll try to get links for these two too. And maybe the Harbor Freight ring light. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's about it. I think, yeah, it's a good solder sesh. It was a good year last year. We made a lot of stuff. Thank you all for joining and for joining the various sessions and, you know, chiming in with the chat and asking questions. It's super, super nice. All right. Well, have a happy new year. Stay safe out there. I'm wishing everybody can avoid the Omicron. And, you know, yeah, see you next week with something else. Bye.